Me and the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like a family man supposed to be. And you damn right, I forgot him. That was my husband. Have nothing. I was with that nigga when he was broke down, when he ain't have nothing. How he gonna do me like that? Oh! Told me that dark-skinned women look like men. Do you remember when you called me blacky and ugly? Help me, Lord, help me, help me, Lord, you know help me. Down, and I hope he burns in hell.
Hey, you got a cigarette? Oh. Hey, you my new cake worker? Okay. My name is Jordan Left. I love my daddy. I don't know if he can get my kid. He my best friend. He took good care of me and my brothers and sisters. I got a lot of brothers and sisters. My daddy worked a lot of jobs too. I don't know if he can get my kids though. Hey, what you laughing for? Baby, shut up over there. I'm gonna tell you like that. Why you laughing? I took my mother's case to say. Okay.
Make sure y'all share this video, subscribe, and save the date. It is going down on Saturday, November 17th, 7 p.m. sharp. Y'all know the dark-skinned activist delivers on her promises. And for the first time in the history of the dark-skinned activist tour that I started back in 2006, featuring my one-woman play, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, I'm bringing y'all the live and in-person pay-per-view live stream performance of A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. That's right. Anyone, anywhere in the world can watch A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, the play, right from the comfort of your own home. Get your tickets now. The link to the tickets are right below in the description box of this video. Now, for my people in Atlanta, the live stream will be filmed in Atlanta, Georgia. So for those of you that are in the Atlanta area, you can catch the show live. The live show will be at Playback Sounds, located at 675 Metropolitan Parkway, Suite C12. Now, you can pay at the door, but there is limited seating, so get your tickets now. The ticketing below in the description box is also there for the people in Atlanta. Bonus! Yep, I got a bonus for y'all. On Friday, November 16th, come out and meet me, the originator of the entire dark skin lane, the first platform in history for dark skin, aka dark skin activism. Come meet the dark skin activists at the Ancient African History Museum. Now, it's only right that the dark skin activist gives y'all the history of how I created the dark skin lane at the Ancient African History Museum. This is a package deal. You get to tour the museum and then listen to a Darkism Talk hosted by me, the creator of dark skin activism and the author of the most books on dark skin than anyone in the world. You will learn how and why I invented dark skin activism. You will learn about dark skin activism's impact on social media and popular culture, opening the doors for all others to openly speak on dark skin. You will learn who and what inspired me to create dark skin activism. You will also learn about all of my dark skin books, plays, and so much more. Ages 14 and up, limited seating, tour hours 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. The Darkism Talk 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The location is the Ancient African History Museum, 675 Parkway, Metropolitan Parkway. Let me get that right. Metropolitan Parkway, Suite 3118-B. Get your tickets online at ancientafricanhistorymuseum.com. I would like to thank all of my sponsors, all of my supporters, and everybody for helping me make this happen. Subscribe, share, and like this video, and I will see you on November 17th.
Strober. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
I'm doing fine, girl. I'm doing fine. How you feel?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I really, really appreciate this. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
You know, ever since the first time I met you, you know, we clicked on so many levels and we agreed on so much. You know, I just on the side, I said, Lord, you know, I really would like to do something special for her to help her movement. You know, and that was before I was afforded this show by my dear brother and cohort, Tyrone Thompson, the CEO of TRS Radio. And, you know, things have just fallen in place and I you know, I continue, you know, my extension to you that anything that I can do to help, you know, forward your message, I will definitely continue to do that. And I'm just, you know, grateful that I have this opportunity to be of some assistance. But I want you to know that I definitely appreciate what you're doing and the awareness that you're bringing to our people. And dear sister, I appreciate you very, very much. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? I'm pretty sure some of our audience members know you. You're very active on Facebook. I know that much. But for those of us who don't, for those who are listening and don't know you, you know, give us some information about yourself, some background, and you can go right into telling us, why do you call yourself the dark-skinned activist?
All right, awesome. First of all, I just want to say thank you again so much for giving me this platform. I love Black people. I love the people. And without the people, you just don't have nothing. And so I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much to the people that are out there listening, taking out their precious time to listen to me and what it is I do. Man, y'all just don't know how much I love y'all. Like, for real, like, from the bottom of my heart, I freaking love you all. Okay, my name is Rashida Strober, the dark-skinned activist, and I've been doing this type of activism for a long time. It really started with my father, who is a Muslim. He passed away, but he was in the Nation of Islam for about 30-plus years, and he would always tell me that Black people is the original people. The dark-skinned people is the original people, and that sat in my brain, and it marinated, and I never forgot it. And so as I moved along in the world, I started to see the contradictions in terms of what was going on with the dark-skinned people of the world. And I always wanted to make some type of impact and some type of difference. And so I would say professionally, my real start as the dark-skinned activist started at St. Petersburg College in 1998 when I did a speech for the Harambe celebration back in 1998, speaking on Alec Weck, the beautiful Sudanese dark-skinned model. And I talked about how Black people at that time were saying, oh, she's Black and ugly, and she ain't the real representation of a beautiful dark-skinned or a beautiful Black woman. And I just, you know, spoke out on that at a speech contest and won the contest, $250, and I needed that money real bad at the time, so I thank God for that. So that's like the real beginning of the dark-skinned activism. And then from there, I'm an actor and a performer. And so when I moved to LA in 2005, I decided to write about my life pursuing the performing arts. And a certain character, CD is what I call him. He told me I was too Black and too ugly to ever be an actress. And so I decided to write about that, and I explored that in the play that I wrote called The Ice Cream Lady's Dream, and people were intrigued by it. And so I decided to write a sequel to that called A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, which details what it's like to be a Black dark-skinned woman with kinky hair living in America. And so that's pretty much the origin of, or the history, should I say, of how my dark-skinned activism came. And then also I spent a long time in St. Petersburg in all types of activism for Black people, starting out in the Uhuru, well, actually my father was a member of the Nation of Islam, like I said earlier, and then with the Uhuru movement, where I worked for a long time, coordinating the free Malcolm X tutoring program, also, you know, other programs where we fought for Black empowerment, just always being on the front line of helping my people in any way that I could. So I know that's long-winded, but I'm just trying to give people a history of what it is that I've been doing for all this time.
You're good, ma'am. You're good.
Yeah. So
no, go right ahead. Anything else you want to say on that?
Well, I just, people say I hate light-skinned people, which is a joke. To me, I just laugh at that because my best friend is a light-skinned woman. Jamina, if you're listening to this, you know I love you. I was homeless on the streets, and this beautiful light-skinned woman, she's dead now. Her name is Vita. Rest in peace. I love this woman to death. I love her with all my heart and soul. She was a beautiful light-skinned woman that took me in. She helped me to get myself stabilized. And as a result, I ended up getting my GED and enrolling in St. Petersburg Junior College and eventually getting a master's degree in political science and eventually teaching American government at St. Petersburg College and doing all this other stuff. And this beautiful light-skinned woman that I just love to death. That's why I just rebuke these demons in the name of Jesus that try to sit here and say that, oh, you hate light-skinned people. It's not about that. And if Vita was still alive, that's her name. She was always at all of my plays, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. She came out to support me because she understood where I was coming from. She understood the plight of the dark-skinned person and what they went through and how it was different from the average black person and what they went through. And so it's like the people that say this to me, they don't understand my history and my history with my black people and my history with, like I said, this beautiful dark-skinned woman that I believe saved my life. And so it's an insult to me for people to say, oh, you hate light-skinned people. That's terrible, because that's not the case. And if they knew Vita, they would know that she understood all of these complexities of what it's like to be dark-skinned females in the United States and how she helped me and how she uplifted me and catapulted me to be something better than what I was, coming from homeless on the streets to a college professor at St. Petersburg College. So I love her, and I salute her, and I want to do this publicly. And Shamina, who is her daughter, if you're listening, with your light-skinned self, I love you. And I don't care what these haters say because they don't know the story. And you know I love you. And I'm going to always love you, and may Vita rest in peace.
All right, so, dear sister, so basically, for clarity, you don't see light-skinned brothers and sisters as being others, correct?
Absolutely not. They're
okay.
Black people. They're beautiful Black people. What I try to get people to understand is that first of all, let's be honest. Let's tell the truth, and let's not sit here and let's not lie. If we're honest with ourselves, then we know that it's dark-skinned females are the most abused and berated women on the face of the planet. I'm trying not to cuss there. I'm really trying my best. But we are the most berated women on the face of the planet. And if you don't believe me, just check the $1 billion skin lightening industry, which is predicated on the self-esteem of dark-skinned Black women. Okay? And that is what I fight against. And there are some Black women out there and Black men who understand this. They know that I'm not saying, oh, I hate light-skinned people. They know that. There's another sister named Carla Mullins. And I love you, Carla. If you're listening, I love you, and I want you to know that. This is a beautiful light-skinned sister that has been in solidarity with me for a long time and who herself has been fighting dark-skin discrimination. So there are light-skinned people out here that understand the dynamics of this, and they work to equalize the beauty of dark skin. So it's not about hating light-skinned brothers and sisters. That's not what the mission is about at all. People that say that, they're deflecting, and they're trying to run away from the issue of dark skin discrimination because they just don't want to deal with it. And that's the problem.
Wonderful, sister. So would it be fair to say that your ultimate goal, one of your ultimate goals, is to unify Black people, regardless of what shade of Blackness that we are? Would you agree that that's one of your goals, unity?
Absolutely.
And because there is a disparaging force and disparaging action within our community in regards to darker skinned men and women, that you believe that needs to be addressed and not just continually overlooked. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I believe that it needs to be addressed in an honest way. We can't continue to lie about it and sweep it underneath the carpet and act like it doesn't exist. Because when you do that, you're never going to get to the root cause of the problem. And if you're honest person, you want to find a solution to the problem. So you got to deal with it head on and deal with it head on. And so that's why it's so important for people to understand that this has nothing to do with hating on a light-skinned person. Malcolm X, people know me that I love Malcolm X. I worship the ground that man walks on, because once that man converted, he was for real. He was one of the most honest people, aside from Harriet Tubman and Nat Turner, about the liberation of his people. He was a light-skinned man, and I absolutely freaking love the ground that this man walks on. And he's light-skinned. So how in the hell could I, as a dark-skinned person, hate a light-skinned person? That's not what this is about. This is about equality, truth, honesty, balance, all these things that we need. And so any light-skinned person, like I said, Carla Mullings, I got to say her name, because this woman is for real. She's the real deal. I respect honesty. I respect people who don't lie and BS around. She's a light-skinned sister, and she understands the struggle of dark-skinned female beauty, and she works constantly to change the situation. And I love her for that, and I respect her for that, and I want to say publicly that, she has my utmost respect, and that's just what it is. And we need to get to a point of honesty as Black people. Stop lying, stop the pretending. Let's just be honest about it. Let's say, dark-skinned people, we're discriminated against. We all know this. I mean, we got the scholars to back us up. If people just take the time to look at the scholarly research, they would know that this ain't in my head. People say, oh, you crazy. Something's wrong with you. You're mentally ill. Well, guess what? This ain't in my head. This is scholarly research that's backed up by empirical evidence. It's not in my head. It's real. So let's deal with it and let's find solutions to it. That's all I'm saying.
So do you find, or do you think that it's a possibility that those who basically come against you and maybe even hate you or hate your activism or hate what you're doing, do you think that it makes them uncomfortable and perhaps they just want you to just shut up? Do you think that could be some of the rationale behind their hatred?
Absolutely. I get haters that come to me on social media all the time. They come on Facebook, they come on YouTube, they come all over the place telling me that I have a mental problem, which I don't deny. It's called dark-skin mental abuse. They tell me that I'm crazy, that I'm divisive.
Say that one more time. It's called what?
I call it dark-skin mental abuse, also known as post-traumatic dark-skin syndrome. I have all of those. I do, and I don't deny that. But they got to look at the fact that I'm not the one that created the situation. White supremacy created the situation, and it's what is we going to do as Black people to solve this? Do you want to solve the problem, or do you want to keep perpetuating it? I'm not trying to, for all those people that think I'm divisive and that I'm hating on light-skinned people, I'm trying to divide light-skinned. That's not what I'm trying to do here. What I'm trying to do is provide balance. What I'm trying to do is stop the numbers of dark-skinned women and dark-skinned men who are, for example, receiving longer prison sentences than non-dark-skinned people for committing the same crime. Do you think that's right? I don't think that's right. Ask yourself, is that fair? Is that fair that a little dark-skinned girl or boy in school is suspended at a higher rate than non-dark-skinned people? Is that fair? This is a question of fairness. This is a question of fairness. That's all I'm saying.
So in other words, we need to stop sweeping this real problem up under the rug.
Absolutely.
We need to stop. You okay? Now let me share something with you and with the audience. There was a segment on CNN maybe about 4 or 3 years ago called Black in America or Being Black in America on CNN. And Michael Eric Dyson, who's a light-skinned brother, I don't know if you know of him, but maybe some of our audience members have heard of him. He's a professor and an outspoken advocate for Black liberation and Black equality. Again, his name is Michael Eric Dyson. You guys can check out what he said on YouTube. I'm sure you can find it there. It's called CNN Black in America. Now, Michael Eric Dyson is a light-skinned brother. He's a professor. He's brilliant. He's super articulate. And this brother he's cold. When it comes to being a speaker for justice and equality for our people.
Right.
And so what he shared during that segment was that he had a brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his brother was dark skinned, all right? And he shared with the TV audience on that segment that as he and his brother was growing up, that his darker skinned brother was not treated as well as he was treated by his mom and his father in their family. And he said that the mother and father always talked positive about him and gave him affirmations about he was going to do great things and going to be a great person, but never did these things for his brother. Now, this is Michael Eric Dyson, the light-skinned brother in the family, telling this story about his own family. Okay?
Right.
All right? And he witnessed this and was bold enough to actually sit there and tell this and share this with the entire world. And his brother, to this day, his brother was in and out of prison. And his brother is in prison today. Well, I don't know if he's in today, but by the time that he gave that interview, his brother was in prison for something that he did, he had some significant time, okay? And so that made him look back on how he was treated because he was light-skinned versus how his brother was treated because he was dark-skinned, and how that treatment followed them into their adulthood, where he got all of the positive treatment, and he ended up being this great professor, speaker, and proud of his blackness, but proud of his blackness because his mother and father were pandering to his light skin, which I believe that this is an issue that goes on in families now, and why so many of our prominent Black people, tend to be light skinned because they receive that affirmation from their families and from the Black community because you're light skinned, you should be this or you should be that, better than those who are darker than you. Okay?
Exactly.
And so, when I had never in my lifetime heard someone be that open about that reality. I will take that back. I've heard it a few times before and after that. I take that back. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm almost sure I heard it once from you, and I was wondering if you would to maybe share a snippet of how the dynamics went on when you were growing up, because I remember you telling me something about how your brothers were treating you. Now, you don't have to go there or not if you don't want to, but I was wondering if you could share just a little bit of that, of the dichotomy that took place in your family while you were growing up.
Right. I'm glad you asked that question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm glad you asked that question. And once again, I want to again tell you, I'm a person that likes to profusely thank people because I believe that it is the people that make us people that have something to say about whatever's going on in society. It's the people that make us who we are. So I want to thank you again. Tina Queen, if you're listening to this, I just want you to know that I love you, sister. I respect you, and my heart goes out to you for what you went through because I can relate to it. I just had to digress to her because, she talked about having to drop out of school, get her GED, get a college degree because of the dark-skinned mental abuse. And it's a very, very painful thing to me because I went through the same thing, going through homelessness. And I just don't think that people have the same level of empathy and sympathy if a person is dark-skinned versus a person that's non-dark-skinned. And so when she said that to me, I went through that myself, and I'm just like, man, I just wish I could just reach out and hug this person and let her know that I love her with all of my heart. And I understand, and I empathize, and I love you with all my heart and soul. God knows I do. So yes, I went through that in my family. I had a cousin in my family. I'm not blaming her because I don't think she understands
Hold on, Rashida. Hold on for a second,
Sure.
Rashida.
Sure.
Before you do that, I'm going to give out the call-in number one more time. And I do have a caller in the queue, so caller immediately after she answers this question, shares this information about her family and her growing up. I will chime you in. I see number 443. You will be the first person speaking. And for those of you who are interested in calling and asking questions or giving comments or even challenging Ms. Rashida Strober, the dark-skinned activist, our special guest tonight here on TRS, Talk Real Solutions, feel free to give us a call tonight. I see we got a lot of listeners, so you can call in, listeners, at 605-562-3140 and dial participant code 915-411 and place your call in the caller's queue so that we can hear your questions, comments, or challenges or whatever you have on your mind or your own struggles as a dark-skinned male or female. Dial *6 and the line will prompt you to dial 1. All right? So go ahead, dear sister. Pick up where you left off.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, I have family members. I remember them saying derogatory things to me, and I remember them treating my light-skinned cousin differently from me because she was light-skinned with so-called good hair, and they would give her privileges and things that they would not give me. And I remember seeing this when I was a kid and not being able to articulate it because I didn't intellectually understand it, but I knew that there was something funny going on. And so I could relate to people like Tina Queen who was abused because, she was dark-skinned and having to drop out of school and having to do all these things because she was being abused. And then also and I just want to say that I taught in the public school system for a long time, and I've seen so much dark-skinned discrimination. And I'll never forget that I seen this little dark-skinned, one of the most beautiful human beings, pitch black little dark-skinned boy. He came into my class one time, and he started turning over tables and angry and upset. I said, what's the problem? And he told me that somebody had called him black. And I will never forget that day when that happened, when somebody in that class called him black, and that made him so upset to where he started tearing up the classroom, throwing stuff all around the class, turning over tables, this beautiful pitch black dark-skinned boy. And it just things like this, it just sends triggers to me, and it hurts me. And it made me think about what Tina Queen's story was, and I hope she's listening, because you shared your story on Facebook. And I want you to know that I'm listening, and it's in my heart, and I love you, and I respect you. And it just triggered me back to this little kid, this little boy that was talking about his dark skin experience and myself and what I went through. And I just want people to know that this is real. It's not something that somebody is just making up in their head. It's what people actually go through. I went through it in my family. Being treated less than. My grandmother was 95 years old when she died. She never liked me because I was dark skinned and I didn't have the so-called good hair. I never disrespected her, but she would tell me this stuff. But I was the one that was with her when she was placed in a nursing home. And, the family just kind of left her there and came when they got ready to, but I was there for her because she's still a human being and I still loved her. But this was the same woman that told me, oh, you know what? She didn't like me because I was dark-skinned. It's dark-skin discrimination. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff is real in families, and it can mess up a person's head, and it's real, and people need to stop just sweeping it under the rug because it's real. And I just want to say to all my dark-skinned brothers and sisters out there who have contacted me and those that have not contacted me that I understand where you're coming from, and I feel your pain, and it's real, and black people, we got to solve this problem. White people can't solve this problem for us. Right. That's why I don't go hard on white people like this. It's in the hands of black people to solve this problem of what I call dark-skin mental abuse, post-traumatic dark-skin syndrome that people don't think it's real. but I have experience with it because I worked in the public school system and I've seen its impact. And I've gotten messages from people who have sent me emails, Facebook messages, YouTube messages. They've told me their stories. I know it's real. I've been through it myself. And I'm interested in eradicating dark skin discrimination among dark-skinned women and dark-skinned boys and dark-skinned girls because I love Black people with all my fucking heart and soul. And this is something that's got to stop because it destroys lives. And I read, last comment I read tonight on Facebook, Tina Queen, I keep saying her name, because what she said to me, it touched me so deep in my soul, because this woman had to drop out of high school, get a GED, because of the torture that she went through for being dark-skinned. How do we let this happen? What is wrong with us that we allow this to happen to silence Black men and women who don't want to say nothing because they scared that somebody's going to say, oh, she just hating, or oh, she just jealous. No, it ain't that.
Okay.
You know, we really got to open up our minds to this stuff.
That's right.
It's just really sad.
You're exactly right, sister. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. We got two callers on the line, 443 and 718. 443, are you on the line? 443.
Meaning
44.
area code?
Excuse me?
The area code?
Yes, the area code 443.
Oh, I'm
681. Okay, you're 7. What number are you? 718?
Mhm.
Okay, well hold on 718. Well, since 443 isn't saying anything, who are you? Introduce yourself and where are you calling from?
My name is Carla. Hi, Rashida. I'm calling.
Hi, Carla. Much love to you, my sister.
Much love to you.
All right, now hold on, dear sister. Let me see who else is on line. 405. This is Black Jesus Minister. Talk to me. Who are you? 405. I'm sorry, 425. Or 405. 405 471. All right, they probably got cold feet. Let me go to the next one. Let's see. This looks like Brother O'War. Brother O'War, are you on the line? Can you hear me? Brother O'War. Oh, man. I guess everybody's having cold feet. Okay, well, Sister 718, Miss Carla.
Hold on, Black Jesus. I'll see if I can do it from my end. Hey, how you doing, Sister Rashida? My name is Tyrone. Welcome to the show. But Black Jesus, let me see if I can open these people. I don't know what's going on here. It sounds like we're having some technical difficulty. So hold on one second.
Okay.
Oh no.
Who is 910? Are you there? 910?
Hey, it's Joe.
Okay, Joe, hold on one second. And 678. Who is 678?
Award of Prince, what's good?
Okay, what's up, Award? Hold on 1 second. And 405, who's on the line? 405.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Hold on, Black Jesus. Let me make sure all of these people are here for you pushing stuff.
Go ahead.
All right, and then you was calling 443. Jack, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 443. All right, so we got everybody. Black Jesus Minister, Sister Rashida. I remember you from a while back doing a Tommy Sotomayor interview, and Lord have mercy, that guy's an idiot. I appreciate the work that you're doing, and I want you to keep up your work, sis.
Thank you.
All right. But go ahead, Black Jesus. Black Jesus. Did he leave?
Miss Carla, go right ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to speak about my experience witnessing what Rashida's talking about.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So, my father, before I went out to school, my father always made positive remarks about women who were darker skin on the TV. Like if there was a lighter one and there was a darker one, he would always compliment the darker one. So I thought I never had those ideas in my head until I started going to school and I saw the treatment of people who were dark from other Black people, saying you're Christy and all these, just you know what was said. So I deep in my spirit, I knew this isn't right. This sounds like, around the time where, people are fighting for rights of Black people. And I'm like, boy, you guys are Black, but you sound a lot like the KKK. This is racism. This is weird. So being the complexion I am, I was called light skin, whatever you want to call light skin. I was called light skin. People thought it was okay to say certain things in front of me because they thought I have a cosign. So I grew up with beautiful Black women and never thought anything of it. So we were sitting there, and when my friend walked away, he said to me, "Oh, she's burnt or something like that." And I looked at him, and I looked at his other friend. They were both light skinned, and I'm like, "That's racist." I didn't know what colorism at the time. So I was like, "That sounds racist to me." He's like, "What are you talking about? You're light skinned," and I'm like, "No, I'm Black, and she's Black, and you're calling another Black person a racial slur. That's wrong." And then they just shut up.
Right.
So ever since then, I've been like really alert to these kind of things, and then I guess walking down the street here, guys make references about being light skinned or whatever, like always liking light skinned girls, like it was the only option for them, and I just thought that's weird. And I always found beauty in very, African features, the dark skin, the facial features, and everything like that. So it was just weird to me. So I just can't quite understand why people can't see that or refuse to see it. And then when you talk about it, they call you divisive, as they keep calling her. She's like, she's not being divisive. How could you say she's being divisive? But you hate when white people say that when we're trying to talk about racism. And you're saying that she's being divisive. That's weird. Like, she's telling the truth.
Okay, well, Carla, hold on there, Carla. We're gonna go. We got a lot of callers on the line, so just hold on. We'll be coming back to you, okay?
Yeah.
Who had next after Carla? Anybody that's on the line want to speak?
Jack, let Jack speak. Jack 443. That's the first one you open.
Go ahead, Jackie.
I'm for Tyra.
All right, and then Award.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, man, me personally, I always loved dark-skinned women. I always thought they were beautiful, they had pretty lips. But it was always a problem with me to get one because they always like light-skinned dudes, They always did. They like light-skinned. I'm like a caramel dude. I'm not dark and I'm not real light, but the real dark-skinned women, that's my preference. And I couldn't get them because they like them real light-skinned dudes. It's a mental problem. And I had a friend of mine, he was a dark-skinned brother, and he hated himself, man. We used to work security, and any brother that came in there that was dark, he'd tell me, "Hey, check him. Go check him, man." And I said, you're a Black racist, man. He said, "What?" I said, "You hate Black people, don't even realize it." Every dark-skinned person that come in there, he tell me, check them. And all these women were light-skinned. That's all I wanted to see on that.
Okay. Well,
what's your complexion, Award?
Huh?
What's your complexion?
I'm like I'd say a caramel type,
I will say this. As I got older, my preference used to be dark-skinned men, but as far as a preference in a complexion, I really don't have one now that I'm older. But even now, to this day, dark-skinned men, and I'm very, 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 very dark. Light-skinned men find me more attractive. I get hit on by light-skinned men more than dark-skinned men. I would never turn a dark-skinned men down because, hey, you too damn dark. I would never do that. But it's just like, when you're out and about or whatever, the people that come to you and try to court you or whatever you want to call it, date you, I get more, I see more light-skinned men and other races come my way before dark-skinned men, my complexion, or maybe a little lighter. But I wanted to say, when the lady was talking, I'm not sure if that was the guest or not, about the how the lighter people were treated in her family versus how she was treated.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't have that experience in my family life, but in regular, you know, just going to school and in the neighborhood, things like that, it was always my peers and people older than me that said things about me for being dark. It was never white people, and it was never my family. It was always other black people that came at me like, oh, like I'm lesser because I'm darker. And I just want to share that you know, it's something with us as people where we always try to put the blame on other people. Oh, you're Europeanized and things like this, but it's something really deep that goes on between us that we really do need to figure out. Now I just totally agree with her when she said that. When she said that, I just immediately pressed the one because, you know, I was feeling her experience, but not from my family, just from people that I knew. You know, the first thing they would say if they were mad is, you know, oh, you black this, you black that. Even not too long ago on this show, they had a whole thing about how how that shit goes. Something about the dark skinned woman got an attitude problem, some shit like that. Like all women don't have attitude problems when they done wrong or when something is going wrong. All women have those, no matter your color or your complexion. But it's just centered towards the dark skinned woman has the attitude problem.
Right.
And if people really think that, if you really, really think that dark skinned women have an attitude problem, think about how dark skinned women are treated. That's all. Sorry.
Well, and just for you guys' info, I don't know if y'all checked out MSNBC Melissa Harris Perry show. She had a show this morning on this very topic because of the incident that happened with the child in the school down here in South Carolina. And she had a panel of young girls going through the world telling their experience being darker girls and how the world looks at them. So if you guys check out Melissa Harris Perry show, she had one on this morning about this same topic.
I want to say one more thing, right?
All right, Brother Tyrone. Hold on, War. Hold on. We got some more calls on the line, so we're going to have to kind of move it along. But you guys stay on the line. This is Jackie. I hope you stay on the line as well. 443, are you finally back on the line?
That's Jackie.
Okay, Jack. Okay.
You want me to go ahead and get them on the line? Like these?
I see everybody open, but 718, who's 718?
Carla?
Yes, that was Carla.
That's Carla. Okay, go ahead, Tyrone. What do we leave off at?
All right, let's go with area code 240. Who's on the line?
This Tyrone.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, this is Gigi. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Can you guys can you hear me?
Yes, you're on.
Yes.
I'm trying some new headphones out.
Well, they sound.
Hi, Gigi.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
I hate that I missed Rashida. I hate that I missed her. I didn't know.
I'm still here.
Gigi.
Hi Rashida, how you doing, girl? I am a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of yours. I think the work that you're doing in this area is so incredibly needed, and you really, I have to commend you for, you know, just hanging in there. Oh my God,
I love you. God bless you. I love you.
You receive so much hate, and you know, I try to, when I get a chance, I always try to respond to your you know, leave a comment or whatever on your channels, and you know, I don't want to say who I am, but you know, I try to leave a comment, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for doing this work. I have so much to say on this issue, but I was hoping that I could just say one thing that really kind of sums everything that I've been thinking up. And that is, you know, we have to try to be patient with ourselves, because
we didn't start this self-hatred thing. We didn't start the colorism thing. And this thing exists all over the world. And I didn't really have a great awareness of that until I traveled. And I saw, you know, in Asia, for instance, East Asia, South Asia, you know, every person of darker complexion is treated like crap. And, you know, that is due to colonialism. That's due to European influence and colonialism. And that's just the remnants of that. Right. But on the other hand, I think that there's some things that we can do. We talk about solutions, and let's just talk about solutions. So the solution that I have is mentoring. You know, we as conscious people, we should start mentoring young men and women of color. If you don't have children, if you do have children, you know, and you're aware of the impact and the damage that this self-hatred has done and how it's manifested itself, that, you know, I think exposing young men and women to images of beauty that is, you know, that uplifts people of color of all hues, but especially black skin, because I think we see enough of the Beyoncés and Rihannas and the Drakes and all those. We need more Lupitas, right. And we need more, you know, Sheryl Lee Ralph. I mean, we need right. more darker, you know, darker skin images out there of beauty, because it's just not enough, and it does do a number on our psyche. And the other thing is, I've got to say this: Black men are not immune from this affecting them. They seem to think that only Black women are affected by self-hatred or images of beauty. No, we all are negatively impacted, whether we realize it or not. And we can go around and talk about, oh, this is just my preference. I just have a preference for light skin, or I just have a preference for whatever. But these things are really heavily ingrained. Self-hatred is really heavily ingrained and really embedded in our psyche, and it does do a number on the way we see ourselves and the way we see other people of color, particularly dark-skinned people of color. And I just I hope that you understand that you are doing great work, and I trust that you will not give up, no matter how much hatred you receive, that you just keep going and hanging in there. Yeah, thank you so much. You're so beautiful. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
All right. Well, sister, hold on, and we'll try to come back.
We got 4-0. I don't know who that was, Black Jesus.
Okay, hold on for a minute, Tyron. I know Rashida's time is limited, so.
I'm sorry.
Rashida, before I get you to do a performance for us, a snippet of your play, do you need a minute or two to get ready, or are you ready to go right into that?
Oh, no, I don't need no time. I'm good.
Okay, well,
We'll do it, Black Jesus. We need to mute everybody's line so we can have only her line open. And then you can start from the top and just start opening lines again, okay?
Okay, well, we're going to take one more call, Tyrone, and then we'll mute everybody's line, and then we'll open the lines back up when she finishes.
Okay.
And Rashida, we'll open up the lines again for people to ask you questions or give comments. And whenever you have to go, you just let us know, and we'll thank you. And
well, let me give you this right here, Rashida. You must be a very popular young lady because the switchboard is lit up. If you, I'm just giving you that in case I know you probably got something scheduled, but I'm just letting you know that people want to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to say I love these people, man. And these people, let me tell you something. If I could hug every last one of them, I would. I fucking love Black people. I love y'all so much, y'all don't have no idea of how much the love that I have for Blackness. Oh my God, I can't even put it into words. I love you. Love you with all my heart and soul.
You can stay on as long as possible after you do your skit for us. Your callers and your fans would appreciate it. So,
Black is beautiful.
It sure is. We're going to take one more caller, and then we will hear a from her play. So you want to kind of introduce your play real quick, give us some information about that, and what will be and what the skit may be encompassed a little bit. Give us a little snippet of your skit that you'll be doing, some background information.
Right. You want me to do that now?
No. I don't want you to actually do the performance. I'm wanting to allow you.
Like, it'll be best for her to introduce it and tell us about it right before she got ready to do it.
All right. All right, one more call then. Let's take a call then, brother.
All right.
All right. I love hearing from the people.
Zero. Who's on the line?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Who's there?
I am good. How are y'all doing tonight?
Hey.
Good.
Excellent. Rashida, I just want to let you know that I have been following you, and I am definitely a fan of you and what you are doing for the Black community.
Man, I love you so much. You have no idea. I can't even put it into words.
I definitely love you. I am, my heritage is not actually American.
It's so cool.
I grew up in a Jamaican household, and within my household, I'm actually lighter skinned, and I have been discriminated against because of my lighter skin.
Oh, wow.
So it's a bit different. I guess since we've moved to America, my family has become more Americanized, and they are now starting to discriminate against darker skins. I've heard my aunt, and I'm just wanting to share some of the things that I've noticed against dark skin discrimination, because it's real. It's very real here in the United States. My aunt tells her 8-year-old daughter that she is too Black.
Whoa.
And we were sitting in the living room. Her daughter lives with my grandma. She doesn't live with her. My aunt actually lives with me. And we were sitting in the living room. Her daughter came up to visit, and I heard her repeatedly say that to her little girl. And I had to turn and look at her, and I said, Jade, it's my little cousin's name. I said, your dark skin is absolutely beautiful, and don't let anybody tell you anything different.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I just feel so bad for her, because it's almost like I could see in her eyes how much it kills her whenever she hears her mother say that to her. And I just really wanted to reach out to you and let you know that I love you for what you're doing, because it is definitely needed amongst our community. It's very much so needed. And I just want to thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, wow. I'm humbled, and I thank you, and I love you, and I love the little girl, and I love Black people. And sometimes I'm just kind of speechless and don't know what to say, because I just want y'all to know that I love y'all. Like, I love you, like, with all my heart and soul. And I don't want a Black person to feel sad or hurt or in pain. If I could wipe that away, I would. I'm sorry to hear that. It's completely freaking terrible.
All right, sis.
All right.
I'll go into your skit.
Whenever you're ready, sister, we're ready for the special performance that you have on hand for us. And for those of you who would like to call in with your questions or your comments before Ms. Strober exits the stage, feel free to give us a call at 605-562-3140. The participant code is 915411. And you will simply dial *6 immediately after that, and the telephone line will prompt you to dial 1. This is your brother, Black Jesus Minister, and the CEO of TRS Talk Real Solutions, Tyrone Thompson. We are broadcasting live on the World Wide Web, and this is our special guest, Rashida Strober, the dark-skinned activist. So this sister, whenever you're ready, take it away.
I have to say I love you, and I thank you,
hold on,
George.
one more thing. Tyrone, do me a favor, Tyrone, and you on the line, brother.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
I have to say that I love you, brother, so much. You have no idea of the amount of love. If I could just like, I wish I could show it. I can't show it, but I can just only say it over and over again. That sister that just called in, my God, my prayers and my heart is with you, and I work for you. I work for the people. I work with the dark-skinned little children out there. This is really about the children and young people more than anything else, because I've seen so much of it, and my heart is constantly in ache for them, because I don't want them to feel any type of pain. I don't want them to end up in the criminal justice system and being mistreated because they're dark. I've read all the studies. I know what time it is. And I just want them to know, and I want you to know, that I'm continuously working for them because of the love that I have for my Black people around the world, and particularly the dark-skinned Black person. There's no shade to a light-skinned person or to a brown-skinned person, but y'all got to understand that dark-skinned people have it real bad. Just study your history, and you'll see what I'm saying is true. And I just, like, there's no words to describe what it is that my goal is for dark skin discrimination to end. And I don't like hearing about it. It's very painful about it. And much love goes out to the young lady in the Carolinas that was abused by that police officer. I love her. I respect her. My prayer is with her. I can go on and on all night about that, but I'm not going to do it. A dark-skinned woman's revenge. It is about the real-life experience of what it's like to be dark-skinned and female in America and in the world. And there's 5 characters in this play that I portray. And I've been doing it for about almost close to 10 years now. I wrote the play back in 2006. It is a sequel to the play, The Ice Cream Lady's Dream, where I was told that I was too Black and too ugly to ever be considered an actor or a performer in Hollywood. And so it's a tribute to the dark people of the world, dark men, dark women. Destiny Huckleback is one of the characters. She is a Black racist. She's very eccentric and she's very stuck up. And her backstory is basically that she's been abused by the Black community, unfortunately, told that she's ugly and that, she's nothing because she's too Black and ugly to just ever be anything. And so that self-hatred, which is what it's culminated into, because she's heard these things over and over from her community. It's just what it's culminated into is the hatred for Black men. And so this character, she ended up marrying a white man, having a biracial child, and it's pretty much in the play she tells her daughter the story of why it is what she's forced to when her daughter brings home a dark-skinned Black boy. She's forced to tell her daughter the story of why it is that she doesn't want this dark-skinned Black boy to date her biracial dark-skinned daughter. And so, oh no, your Black ass won't take my daughter anywhere. Close the door, honey. Tell him to get out. It's time you understood what I went through. I had been in an all-girls Catholic school until my sophomore year in high school. You see, your grandparents didn't want college to be my first experience with the real world. And so I transferred to public school in my 10th grade year. And honey, it was absolutely amazing. There were no strict rules, no boys, no uniforms, and most of all, there were boys. Marcus Hall was my absolute dream come true. He was tall, dark-skinned, and even had his own car, too. A cherry red Chevy. He was absolutely the finest guy in my entire school. And he was tall, dark-skinned. Oh, my gosh. That's Destiny Huckleback. Like I said, y'all, she's a Black racist because of what she went through in going to school, being a dark-skinned Black woman of Jamaican descent, and being rejected by dark-skinned black men and black men in general because they felt that she was too dark-skinned and ugly. And eventually she was branded the ugliest woman in the entire school. So that's just one of the characters from my play, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. And then we have Sharifa Adams. She don't take no mess from nobody. She's been going through it for years with her with non-dark-skinned women who feel like she's just too black, too dark-skinned, and too ugly to have an NFL football player who's a multi-millionaire marry her and date her. And so, you know, she comes from a very rough, impoverished background. And like I said, she don't take no mess from anybody. Girl, them have us be hating, girl. Them old hating behind helpers had the nerve to ask me how I get a rich black NFL player to marry me. As if I'm not good enough for him, and like he should have been with some old light-skinned Spanish black bitch. They even want to bust them holes in the mouth every time they fall looking at us crazy. Well, me and Keaton met when we was in high school. And they wanted to be chasing after him like all them other females were. Girl, we were two of the blackest people in our high school on the track team. Yeah, girl. You came chasing after me, girl. I wasn't chasing after him, girl. That's what these hating ass helpers don't understand, girl. Yeah, so, you know, Sharifa Adams, she had to let these females know that, you know, just because she's dark-skinned and, you know, they feel like she's too black to be with him, you know, she had to let them know that he came chasing after her, and it wasn't her chasing after him, and they weren't going to take him away from her just because she was dark-skinned, and they felt like, oh, well, you shouldn't be with her because she's too dark-skinned, and you should have you a trophy wife. You know what I'm saying? So that's Sharifa Adams. So those are two of the characters that in the play, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. And, yeah, so you guys can, I'm going to be in Atlanta playing all of these characters December 12th. And, you know, I hope that if you're in the Atlanta area, that you guys will come out and check this play out because it's the no-holds-barred, real deal truth of what it's like to be dark-skinned and female living in the world and all the different experiences and all the different facets of what dark-skinned women go through, just living their lives being dark-skinned in America. So, yeah. And all the information, you know, will be included somewhere in this interview. You know, so 60, I believe the address is 6045 Norcross Tucker Road. It's in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Coconut Kitchen and Lounge. And, you know, you guys will be able to catch me performing these characters. And I don't BS. I don't, you know, you come out, you see the show, you're gonna get it. So if you like honesty, and if you like the real deal, and if you like truth, you're going to get it. Because I've been performing these characters for a very long time. And it's just like, I just wanted to bring the truth about being dark-skinned and female in different situations in the United States. Because a lot of times it's swept under the rug and people don't really understand it. And once again, I want to say thank you to George Black Jesus for allowing this platform to let me bring this forth, because this is real. It's not fake. It's not, you know, phony. It's the real deal. And the reason why I decided to write this play and bring it forth in these, you know, these fictional characters is because it's edutainment. And I realize that people, when they see this in a play, it opens up the dialogue because they're entertained. They're saying, oh, I can relate to these characters. And it's like, boom, you know, here these characters go. So Atlanta, December 12th, come out, see the play, enjoy it. You'll be able to talk to me.
All right. Well,
it'll be an open
dear sister, we thank
discussion.
you, Rashida Strover, my sister. Mm-hmm. You want to give everybody your Facebook page or internet information where they can look up, you know, follow you and so forth?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All they got to do is type in Rashida Strover, Rashida Marie Strover, and they'll easily find me on Facebook. I'm very open, so people can always message me, or they can, you know, type in darkskinnedandbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com and personally email me if they want to. Or like I said, find me on Facebook. Or they can go to my website, darkskinisbeautifulcampaign.com, and I do have a motivational ebook that I wrote specifically for dark-skinned women. It's called How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet.
All right. Well, we got some questions real quick before you go. Again, just let me know when you need to go, dear sister. Those performances were very poignant and very powerful, and I thank you. I thank you for taking your time out and sharing with us. All right.
You're welcome.
Let me just my little bravo in there. That was great, sis. I appreciate that. And look, if you guys are listening in the area on December 12th, please go check her out. Black Jesus, all you have to do is go down the list, man. Everybody's muted, so as you open them, you can call their name.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. I'm gonna start from the bottom this time. Brother Joshua, are you on the line? Brother Joshua. All right.
Try to unmute him from the top, man. You know you down in the queue box. Try to unmute him from the top.
Okay. I'm going from one box to one box at a time, right?
Yeah, but if they got the blue bubble beside of them, that means that they push one. So if Joshua's at the, he's got a blue bubble beside of him. You can unmute him from the top also.
Okay. You're talking about from the top of the page. You're talking not just at the bottom, because everybody's got a blue button next to them.
Yeah, that's the one that push one.
Okay. So can I unmute them right here at the very bottom? Can I do it from the bottom instead of the top?
Yeah, but it sounds like you've been having problems from unmuting them from that.
Okay. All right. I'll do it from the. Okay. Got it. All right. Let's see. Do I see Joshua on here? Unmute Joshua line for me, brother.
I'm not at the computer. That's why I said that.
Okay. Let me try this again. Lord have mercy. Brother Joshua, are you on the line?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah.
There you go. Now you got it. There you go, brother.
Yeah. No, I was on mute too, because that was the problem. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, thank you for the show. I just want to ask the sister something. I do know she's the advocate of dark-skinned people. And that's what she's saying. I do want to know, what do you want to take this message? I mean, do you want to take this message for the divisive, or do you want to take this message for us to unite?
That's an awesome question. Thank you, brother. It's not about dividing Black people. It's about I want Black people to recognize in an honest, true way dark skin discrimination and eradicate it. And what I want Black men to do, this is a bigger goal, because I'm a Black woman that loves Black men with all my heart and soul. And there's other Black women, dark-skinned women out there that feel the same way, that we feel that Black men are not paying enough attention to us. So I also want Black men to consider marrying and dating Black women in higher numbers in order to be able to balance out the numbers of Black men that are marrying and dating dark-skinned Black women. So I'm just looking for balance and equality.
Right. But I do want to say, there is some discrepancy, and I hear about certain discrepancies. I do know, and I'm sure you heard about this case of this particular sister, and I think it was in D.C. They killed her because she was light-skinned. And so my thing is that we also need some type of advocacy on that too as well, saying, hey, look, whatever issues that you might have with a light-skinned person, whatever the case might be, it doesn't mean that you jump up and kill them. I mean, I'm not saying, they beat her to death. You see, so and this is the danger for me as a conscious brother, and I am light complected, okay, and I've been conscious for a very long time, okay, and so those are warning signs to me, because I think some people might miss your message, and they might take it to the other level, meaning that they might say, well, we don't like light-skinned people. I've heard that recently. I've heard it from that dummy King Noble, who made a statement that Muhammad Ali is not Black. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So these things are happening on both sides. I understand that you're coming from the perspective, because you are a dark-skinned woman. And last time was the first time I got to see one on YouTube, because I'm not a YouTube person. I don't generally go on YouTube, but I had to look at some of the stuff that you were saying.
And I said, oh, okay, she's coming from this angle. And so I do know that that's why I asked the question, what do you want to go with this? You see, because see, this can be a funky role or it can be a good role. Because some people don't know how to decipher what you're saying at times, so they might take it to the next level. As far as dating a dark-skinned woman, I'm a licensed brother who likes and understands who loves dark-skinned women, but I don't always have the good experience with them because some of them would tell me that they don't like light-skinned men. Okay, so we're dealing with that dichotomy. You see, so on one hand you got the dark-skinned brothers generally, in some cases, who don't date other dark-skinned women, but then on the other hand you have the light-skinned brothers who will date the dark-skinned woman, just like that. You know, so that's another dichotomy as well that's happening in our community, and I think that we have to unite. You know, I mean, because if we don't unite, it's going to be curtain for us, period, whether we be light skin or dark skin. You see, so I just wanted to put that out there and see both. And I understand there's two sides of the story, but I understand the point of view, sister, and I'm glad to hear from you. I'm glad that you can have this conversation with you, and keep doing what you're doing. You're coming from that angle, so keep doing what you're doing.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't condone violence or meanness or nasty or discrimination against light-skinned people, dark-skinned people. You know, I don't condone that. That's never been the goal or the mission. The goal and the mission has always been to equalize the beauty of dark-skinned women and girls. But I don't. People misconstrue what I'm doing. It's not anything against the light-skinned people or light-skinned hatred or light-skinned women. None of that. That's not what this is about.
All right. Okay, Sister Rashida, we're going to move on to Brother Aki. Aki, are you on the line? Brother Aki, let me see if I can unmute your line one more time. Brother Aki, are you there? All right. We're going to move it right along.
Who got the baby?
I don't know who got the baby.
Hey, if you got the baby, just kind of, you know, we're on a live show here, so.
Yeah, who got the baby? Who is that?
Oh, that's me with the baby. That's my daughter Lauren in the background. I'm trying to.
Okay, no
Sorry
problem.
about that.
No problem. 310.
Okay.
This Black Jesus Minister, talk to me. 310. 310-393.
You got to do it from the top, man. You keep doing it from the bottom, they ain't gonna be able to do it.
Okay. 7. Okay. All right. We got 919. I think we did 901. 901.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. This is coming for you, Black Jesus Minister. You opened the show talking about Willie Lynch. The Willie Lynch letter is false. It's fake. You know, there's nothing true about it. Even though parts of it may align with the way some people think, it's a false construct. And if we're going to talk truth here, there is enough material out there that is true that you can pull from to illustrate the point. Please don't reference Willie Lynch, please.
Well, dear brother, you and I can have a further discussion on that. We can probably even have a debate. I disagree with you, but I thank you for your call. Anything else you want to add to the conversation and to our guest speaker?
Nope, I'm just listening.
Okay, all right, brother.
Thank
okay,
you.
well, we'll
Thank
talk
you.
about this again, brother. You have a pleasant evening, and hold on, we'll come back to you if you got anything else to share. 973, this is Black Jesus Minister. Talk to me.
Hello?
Yes, 973, you on?
Oh, yes, I am. I can't believe that I'm actually on the show. I didn't think I was going to get through.
Who is this?
This is Mecca Earth.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Earth. Talk to us.
Yeah, I wanted to put my perspective on things.
Okay.
So, should I tell a situation where I was discriminated or was in a situation where I've seen the discrimination, or
whichever one you feel like you want to share, sister. We're all
well, I fully agree with Rashida's movement because I feel like she's like genuinely doing this for us because of the experience that she has been through, which basically, if you dark skinned, we all pretty much know each other's story, but it's like some black people try to act like they don't see it, which makes it harder for other dark skinned people, because of the fact that they I guess want to be around non-black people, and they feel like they gotta put themselves down just to be a part of or be cool. The most popular dark skinned people I've ever seen hated themselves and showed severe black self-hatred. And one of my situations I wanted to speak about, that I spoke about on one of Rashida's topics, is about how she gets a few light-skinned women that come on her page and they get mad and they try to act like as if they don't see it. But what I say to people is, if you don't want to be dark, it's for a reason. So why are you trying to act like you don't see what the problem is? You know exactly why you don't want to be dark-skinned, because of the lies they made up about us and how they hide all the greatness and, you know, that we have in us and the stuff that we can do and possess within ourselves. You know, so I had a light-skinned friend once, and she basically, we couldn't be friends because I had to basically say that dark-skinned people was ugly. One day we was looking, like, she used to always say little slick stuff about, ew, dark, and I noticed every time she called somebody ugly, they was always black or dark-skinned. When I say black, it was dark skin. And then she always would say they ugly. If you show a picture of any celebrity or somebody, she'll always say they ugly and always try to say that the lighter skinned person looks better. So one day, I pulled out a magazine and I forgot who we was talking about. We was talking about it was a beautiful person. I don't think it was a celebrity though, but we was talking about some people, and I know she did the kid. And I'm like, hold up. You never see, every time I show you somebody dark skin, you always say they ugly or you find something wrong. But every time I show you somebody light skin or even somebody light skin that's not even attractive, you always try to say they bad or they this. And me and her ended up stopped talking because I realized that when you see a lot of dark skin people hanging around with light skin chicks, they're weak minded because they're willing to sit there through that situation. Just know that when you see that, that's what they're going through. That they putting up with it. That you can't basically say anything positive or nice about a dark skin person, and that's why the black race is so messed up, because they're trying to fit in. But there's no black person out there that can deny the fact that it is mistreatment. That's the reason why they don't want to be black in the first place, all because of what the media is doing.
Wow, that's true, sister. That is absolutely true. Well, Mother Earth, dear sister, if you hold on, we appreciate that comment. We will definitely come back to you. Mother Earth. You said Mother Earth, right?
Mecca, like
Mecca.
Yeah.
Mecca Earth. Okay, got you, sister. And where are you
from? Oh my God, that's Mecca. Thank you for calling in. I love you, my sister. You're
I love
beautiful.
you too. This is the first time I spoke to you. Oh my goodness.
I love you. God bless you.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we gotta exchange numbers in our inbox, okay? This woman right here is an inspiration to me. Like, I swear, like, keep going, Rashida. You inspire me every day to keep going and doing what I'm doing. Like, you have so much strength that I think that some people might get intimidated by, and some females might even feel jealous about. But you keep going, you know.
You're so wonderful.
Thank you. Stay beautiful.
All right. Beautiful. Awesome. All right. Next caller we got on the line, and just hold on, Sister Meta Earth. We got Brother Mama's Boy. Are you on the line, my brother?
Hello.
Is this Mama's Boy or some other number?
Well, hold on, Black Jesus. Let me explain that. When the unknown callers call in here, I tag them. I write names, but unfortunately, the next day, if an unknown caller call in, it'll have that same name, so it may not be Mama's Boy.
Okay, I got you.
No, just
right. Well,
caller.
Yeah, would you identify yourself?
Yes, my name is Mystery Lady. How are you doing this evening?
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
Hi. I wanted to just commend her on her efforts. It's very needed. And I'm kind of calling in late. Actually, I didn't even know she was going to be on. So it was kind of by accident. Pleasant surprise. But I wanted to say that, me personally, I think that it comes mostly from the African American community, where we deem, where even if you see music videos, you see the exotic looking women with the, light skin, or exotic looking with the quote unquote silky straight hair and things of that nature. But as Black, our standard of beauty should not be white or light skin. We are Black. So I believe the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I believe Black is beautiful. And we need to get back to that and not let your European society deem what is, what the standard of beauty is. We dictate what our standard of beauty is based on our natural attributes that we were born with. So our kinky hair is beautiful. You understand what I'm saying? Our skin is beautiful no matter what shade. Our lips are beautiful. Our nose is beautiful. Everything about us is beautiful. And if it's not beautiful, why are whites trying to, they're sitting in the sun and getting tan, trying to get darker? If looking white like them is so beautiful, why are they trying to get dark like us? Why are they getting the lip implants? Why are they getting the butt injections? Why are they doing all these things to look more like us? There's a reason, because they really want what we have.
That's true.
They're jealous of what we have. So if someone is trying to look like you, why are you trying to look like them? That should let you know they want to be you.
Exactly.
I mean, they're risking their lives getting in the, getting in the tanning beds in the sun. That's not healthy for them, because they don't have the melanin. The melanin protects us from a lot of things. They don't have that.
But they tell us that it's no good, though. They tell Black people that that's no good.
Right, but that's the way to brainwash us. But you have to be smarter than that. You cannot allow them to do that. That's all it is. It's brainwashing.
Exactly. Well, sister, we thank you for your call. If you just hold on, we're going to move on to the next caller. We'll try to come back to you, all right?
Thank you.
All right. The next caller we have on the line here is 310. 310, are you on the line? 310, are you on the line? All right, we're going to move it right along. I think this is Aki. Aki, this is Black Jesus Minister. Talk to me. Are you on the line?
No, this is facts, man. What's up?
Yeah, I told you though, unknown callers, man. I labeled them. Okay.
Different names. I got you. All right.
Seems like you're not following directions, man. I'm listening to you. I don't keep on saying the same thing. You're just not listening. But I just want to say, ma'am, I enjoy your skit that you gave us. Art imitates life, and you definitely gave some reality to your artwork. I appreciate that. And it's a very good topic that you had. And this runs on both sides, especially when male and women. You have society who think dark-skinned males, well, some people in society fear dark-skinned males more than they fear light-skinned males. They just think that someone from dark skin, they're more more aggressive than light-skinned males are, and there's no way to prove that. It can be a trick bag. Vice versa, some light-skinned women think they're too hasidic, very conceited in certain ways. There's some people say, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Some people whose skin is darker say that they're better than light-skinned people because they're closer to their ancestors. I know I got a couple of cousins down in South Carolina. When I was little, they bragged about their dark skin color because they said they had no, on their side, they had no white blood mixing in them. So they felt more close to Africa. They would crack on a light-skinned person, saying that, hold up, you got white people in you. And it's vice versa. But having said that,
my turn. My name is Tan Renrut.
But having said that, you're bringing up a very good point. It's been happening in our society since I've been little, cracking on the dark-skinned girl, cracking on the dark-skinned boy, saying that you're dark. And it's just what it is. And kids do that. And kids get this from the adults. And people are saying, Black Jesus Minister, don't say Willie Lynch. That's a lie. Now, I think there's no such thing as a Willie Lynch letter. There's no letter that was manufactured that you actually conceived. But his concept, Willie Lynch's concept, he said that to some people and they carried it back from Jamaica. That's just a fact. So when I agree, there is no Willie Lynch letter, but that concept about dividing Black people amongst each other, by Black people are looking at the different skin colors and saying the light skin is better than the Black, the light skin is more educated than the
the dark-skinned black, it's very true, because we were talking about mixing. I don't want to call them, you can call them house Negroes or whatever you want to call them, but there are some people who stayed in the house and did certain things, and some white fathers passed their land and their ownership down to their light-skinned sons. So this is some of the things that that may have started this. It's the past. The past started this stuff. But over across seas, they don't look at dark skin and light skin color overseas. They look at more of the culture. You got to remember, even the Roman Empire had barbarians, people from Asia and different cultures even fight for Rome. So what I'm saying is, they particularly didn't look at the skin color. They particularly looked at the culture and how the people lived. And over in the scale, you remember when Malcolm X came by, he said he saw many different types of women, many different skin colors. So that's more of an American type thing. But the Willie Lynch is true. The concept, it may not be written down, but that concept, Willie Lynch was a true person, a real person, who spread that concept to the United States of America, because people sat down and thought about how can we keep these people under control? How can we divide these people? And ma'am, you're doing a great job. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna fall back. You just stay in your lane. I know people are trying to confuse you, and maybe I try to confuse you, because both sides have the point. The light skin, blacks have their points, how they're being discriminated. That's dark skin, but just stay in your lane. You know, if a light skinned person wants to come up and have their, talk about a light skin movement, fine. But just stay in your lane and you just do fine. You know, that's all I gotta say. I'll fall back.
Thank you.
Enjoy your skit, man.
Thank you so much.
Hello?
That's love.
All right, well, Brother Offense, we thank you for those comments there, brother. All right, I'm moving on to 313-313. This is Black Jesus Minister. Talk to me. 313-412. Area code 313. Are you on the line? You're not talking to me. I'm not.
Greetings, family. How is everyone?
Greetings.
And salutations to our sister Rashida. What you are dealing with is sorely needed.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
You are tackling, you're going straight on countering white supremacy, and I salute you.
Thank you.
First, I want to say is that our biggest problem is our lack of education. And when we understand that we are suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome, and that our reaction to color and what options it might, give you being of lighter hue, we can't forget that our grandmothers were raped. This is evidence that our grandmothers were raped. My family, we have every color in the rainbow in my family. And I'm being a dark sister, full busted, full gluteus maximus, big lips, nappy hair.
All right.
Beautiful. I was always beautiful, but the magazines and television and the men that I was around, they would acknowledge my beauty privately. They would whisper it to me and maybe try to get it up under my skirt, But in public, they wouldn't acknowledge you because you were dark. Now, 40 years later, I'm the one they looking at, because I'm still looking good, That black skin is something.
Right. Absolutely.
I commend you, sister. I salute you. I hope to hear you again. This will be a powerful healing for the sisters here in Detroit. I don't know, where are you located?
I'm in Florida, but I move all over the United States. Thank you, sister. I love you. Gosh. Awesome.
I hope you would give your contact information.
Oh, yeah. darkskinnisbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com. On Facebook. I see the Marie Strober. Contact me anytime.
Okay, now your last name is what?
Strober, STROB, like boy, ER.
ER, okay. Well, I love you.
Love you too. God bless you.
All right. Well, listen, I have opened up everybody's line, and so please, you all have been very well by not speaking over one another. Now, if there's someone who hasn't spoken yet, if you haven't spoken, speak up and ask your question or make your comment to our special guest. Is there anyone on the line who hasn't spoken yet?
Yeah, me. Yes.
This is Leah. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can Rinrut.
The guy who spoke next. So go ahead, sister, then the brother.
Okay, this is Leah Woodard, and I'm here with my husband, Dedrick Woodard. Rashida is absolutely phenomenal. I follow her across the country to see her plays because she's a phenomenal actress, and she does so much for the community. Me, myself, I was a struggling author for like 3-4 years, not doing well, not being in the papers, not being on TV. And then I did a motivational speech at the Pinellas County Urban League, and Rashida saw me do my speech, and she read my book. And then from there, she helped me get in front of millions. So she has a really big heart, and she loves to help out, her people, and she loves to connect with African-American businesses and so forth and support them. I just want to say, thank you so much, Rashida. I love you, and I just want to thank you, for all that you do for everybody. And my husband wants to say something too. Go ahead.
Yes. How y'all doing there?
Hey,
all right. Greetings from St. Petersburg, Florida. Yes. My name is they call me Big Cuz. And I just like to say, her passion is a reflection that, like for me, when I see how she interact with people to equip them to transition into their vision so that they can begin to live their dreams, I'm like, the way she blessed my wife, I'm like, high five, you know what I'm saying? Because she don't just talk about stuff. She actually equip people. And what she's trying to do, from what I've seen, is to equip us as a culture to be able to understand that this is how dark-skinned people are being treated. So we can begin to minister and equip our youth, our young teens, and our adults that already have experienced the pain, and the young ones that are about to be able to handle the people around them so that they don't get to do the things that, that she was expressing that could manifest in the fullness throughout her plays. So she get people thinking, So if you haven't seen the play, I want to say go see it, because I went on a date with my wife where she was my girlfriend, and she could play, thinking I'm finna holler at her while the play going on. And I found out I couldn't even run my mouth because I was so captivated with all of the ideals of what was going on with our dark-skinned sisters. And so, it blessed me because it showed me things that I could share with my family members, with people that I come in contact with, so that I can begin to use what I have as gifts to equip them. And I know everybody has challenges, but she's standing for the challenge that she has learned to overcome. And I just thank her for the opportunity to partner with her and to be able to address the issues that she has learned so that we can begin to equip young people and people that we love to be able to get through, by learning from somebody who got through. So I just want to, give some accolades to her for being courageous enough to put it on front.
Wow.
Oh my God! Thank y'all. Y'all are awesome. It's awesome.
Yes.
Don't call me crazy. I'm just in love. Thank you.
That was proper. All right. Well, hey.
Hold on, brother. Let me ask you a question before you go, brother. And so now, do you believe, brother, as a family man, that the healing begins with our families, and that we must acknowledge this illness, and that we must train our children in their thinking? Brother, are you still there?
Uh-oh.
They may have hung up. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Right on, Rashida. Hey, yay, Rashida. Hey, I'm loving this. And you know who this is? This is Tan Renrut. Tan Renrut. So everybody sit down, take a listen, because check this out. I would love to collaborate with this sister. You understand what I'm saying? Check this out. Check this out. I'm going to break this down. See, I spoke to Rashida one-on-one. And check this out. I would love to collaborate with her because guess what? Dark-skinned woman revenge ain't got nothing to do with the dark man. It has nothing to do with us. And guess what? I'm going to bring it to you real. I'm going to bring it to you real. Guess what? I'm the black sheep of my family.
Oh, my God.
I was talking about from a baby. They called my hair grapes. Oh, he got grapes on his head. Hey, slow down. Let me tell you something. What the sister is doing for the female, you don't want me to bring it out for the male. Because she is real. Let's go back to your sheet because see, I've been on the program and on hold for a while. The sheet said a lot of controversial things regarding light-skinned people and how she offends them. Someone even mentioned to him that Muhammad Ali was not a black man. Guess what? Muhammad Ali is black, but guess what? That's a house nigga. That's a house nigga because white people have a one-drop rule. And let me explain the one-drop rule from the white perspective. White people do not believe that we are even capable of speaking the language of English. And I'm dark as tar. Ain't nobody seen me. Ain't nobody seen me. And they judge their books by their cover. Muhammad Ali was lobotomized. That man had a voice. He had a power. He would have been a president prior to Ronald Reagan. Do you understand me? But the white man has took claim to him because of the one-drop rule. See, what you don't understand about our enemy, and this is a mutual enemy, is that every perspective that the black or dark-skinned person has perceived as acceptable comes from his definition solely. So what Rashida is sharing with everybody is this. I have children, bro. Now, when I say children, y'all say, oh, he got some kids. Okay, he's a happy man. No, I got 10, baby. I got 10. And I have been breaking my back since I was a young man. My oldest is 31 years old. You understand me? And she grew up dark-skinned. She didn't have no pride, but guess what? She wears locks in her hair right now because she's proud of her naps because guess what? Her daddy had locks. And I used to tell her, these ain't dreadlocks. Don't call them, I don't dread nothing. If you ever refer to them, you use the term locks. They're not dreadlocks because if you spoke the English language, dread means something horrible or that you fear. And I do not fear having my naps. I am locked in by nature. Dread something, if you're English, they call them dreadlocks because they were dreadful in appearance. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I don't dread this, baby. Guess what? I got nappy hair. Yeah. Hippie-I-A. You understand what I'm saying? I taught her that. She gave me 4 grandchildren. All right? I got more children, and I'm not going to enter into it, but I'm going to tell you something about other things. Another sister said, she said something about marriages, and I married my first wife. I had 1 chocolate and 1 brown. The brown was given the royal treatment over the chocolate. Now, the chocolate to this day, and I'm not ashamed to tell you, she was a contortionist as a child, and she's a contortionist as an adult. But guess what? Because of her abilities to be a contortionist, that led her into go-go dancing. I'm going to leave that at that. You guys are intelligent enough to fill in the blanks. The other one came to Daddy, question after question, statement after statement, book after book. And guess what Daddy told her? Everything she needed. She got a full ride scholarship scholarship to UCLA.
That's
From Watts. From Watts. UCLA does not recruit students inside of the state of California, but guess what? That was my child. Yeah,
right.
She got accepted. So do I. You understand? And I'm from the hood, born and raised, South Central Los Angeles. They took the word South out and they could just call it Central LA. But no, gutter is gutter and ghetto is ghetto. But guess what? A rose grows in a bed of thorns. And when it comes to darkness, she got her confidence, and the other one got her confidence too. But the other one is living on one side of the spectrum, and then this one is living on the white one. So let me take you to another caller. Another caller said, when it comes to addressing, as a matter of fact, it wasn't even a caller, it was Rashida herself. Listen, black men are overlooking dark-skinned women.
Yeah.
They're overlooking them.
Yeah.
And the UCLA student, she has come to me on 4 different occasions. I say 4 because we no longer speak. She's searching for answers, and I have to allow her to discover them. Every black man on UCLA campus only follows, chase, bend over backwards for Barbie women. Blonde hair, blue eyes, white girls. Do you understand me? And my daughter is so real that she deals with exclusively black women, and they all come to her for answers and have the same conclusion. Every dark-skinned man or every black man, whether he's dark or not, on campus, only pursues Barbie dolls. That's all he ever pursues. Do you understand? You send your kid to college. You want your child to go to Harvard. You want him to be accepted at MIT. Yes, sure you do. Sure you do. That's an accommodation, and that's also a accommodation for yourself of your good work. But guess no, it's black people. And let's go a little deeper, because I want y'all to know something. Y'all have a tendency to lean toward all shades of black are beautiful. Where's dude that caller that said something about Willie Lynch? Sir, Willie Lynch is in effect. 10,000 to the 10,000th power. And I don't know if you do math, but brother, it would be astronomical. Willie Lynch is fully in effect inside the black race. It's fully involved, okay? In the black race, let me tell you something, brother. There was only one kind of person allowed in Nassa's door. And in the business our political spectrum, there is something called a glass ceiling. And when you get Flavor Flav black like me, bruh, you got no chance. So I'm going to advise everybody to go pull out an old Spike Lee flick called Drop Squad, just so you can get an update on some old news. Okay? That's a recent movie, and it's easily available to everybody. But when I go to Rashida's point, brother, you don't understand, man. Those dark-skinned women, they don't want nobody else. It ain't no dark man. It ain't no brown man. It ain't no light-skinned brown. It ain't no caramel, and it ain't no paper bag chasing these chocolate darker than they say the darker than a berry. No, darker than a berry-ass brown female down. They ain't chasing them down. They are avoiding them, and these women are lonely. And you wonder what these monstrosities are that are 200, 300, 400 pounds overweight. Because, dude, guess what? They had rough territory. They lived every day of their life with rough territory. Rough territory. Dude, you cannot imagine being alone. Hey, nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to hear. But guess what? When you Flavor Flav black, I use the term Flavor Flav because dude got a show. He had a bunch of women fighting over him, and you know who he is. I'm that color. I'm darker. And guess what? I speak clear English. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's a thing that I've always self-inflicted myself with. I don't speak any other languages. So I had to master the one in which I possess. That is not a poignant point amongst our culture. We good with slang. You remember I was telling you about the go-go dancer? Let's think back. That girl will not speak clear English. And I'm going to talk to you like she would talk to you. And I bet every last one of y'all understand, and y'all might label this Ebonics, that term from the European. Here it goes. Check this shit out. The other motherfucking day, I was about to go to that motherfucking place over there, you know, across the street, you know, from motherfucking ass, you know where we go all motherfucking time. Guess what? When I went to that motherfucker, I went up in the store and there was a Chinaman. Motherfucking ching chung ass, look trip. That Chinaman told me I had to get that motherfucker 2 motherfucking cents, and I was like, no, I'm gonna take my motherfucking ass right down the motherfucking street. I can go to the homie over there and get what the fuck I need. That's Ebonics. That's the 23-year-old. That's the go-go dance. She loved that shit. She loved reveling in the dark-skinned world that y'all created because you're black. But let me tell you something about this blackness and give you a reminder. It is not, and it has never been one of those, what you guys use, all shades of black are beautiful ass shit that got off that boat. This dark person that I am, that Rashida is, and it's a whole lot of us out here. Guess what? Y'all overlooking us. Y'all too good. Y'all trying to get in Master's house just like the light skin that was allowed in the back door. Yeah, you was a house nigga, but you could not come in the front. Y'all forgot that part. You could not come in the front door. Your light-skinned black ass had to come through the back door. The one that got off the boat gave us our name. They called us niggers, Africans, niggers, and let me tell you something, how that word nigger came. You done heard every definition in the world, but let me explain something to you guys. Nigger was Niger or Nigerian, but white people were not readers. They did not know how to read. Just like the black man would have gotten punished, castrated, or lynched because of knowing how to read, white people didn't know how to read either. White people did not know how to read. Do you understand me? It was not a requirement. They ran entire plantations. They sold every ounce. I didn't say pound. I didn't say ton. I said every ounce of cotton without knowing how to read. You know why? Because there was a time in the United States of America that people were capable of doing as was told. Do as I say, not as I do. Hello? They did what they were told. If they functioned properly, every riches, every profit, every buck, every penny was earned. And as I end my case, I am going to end this conversation, and I want to end it with something that you guys have not investigated. Abraham Lincoln, every black person's favorite president because he created the Emancipation Proclamation. It was not for the benefit of freeing black slaves, neither was the Civil War. What it was for was so that blacks could enter and defend the United States against a tyranny. Now, when any black person says that the Confederate flag should not be taken down, let me tell you, the Confederate flag was an evolution to what it is today. The rebellion of the Confederate flag means nigger should stay slaves. There is no other interpretation, point blank, simple that. But the black person that was free, that black person that was free during that time, let me tell you something. He made $10 a week, 20 cents, not $10, 10 cents, 20 cents. I'm hearing some backfeed.
All right, brother, go right ahead. If
Okay.
anybody got some noise in the background, please mute your phone. I need you to wrap it up, brother. We got a lot of callers on the line.
Yes. I'm wrapping it up right now, and I promise you this. When black people were set free, they were earning 10 or 20 cents a day, and they were known as sharecroppers. So they weren't actual slaves, but they had to pick cotton. My own personal mother, my mama, left Texas because my mama, my grandmama, and my granddaddy, my grandmama and my granddaddy had her and all her other sisters and brothers out in the field picking cotton. So it wasn't that long ago. I just want everybody to know it wasn't that long ago with your sedity ass like Marvin Gaye. Listen to Marvin Gaye music because he was a man ahead of his time. Anyway, check this out. Every single black person that earned 10, 20 cents a week, they paid for life insurance. The reason why they paid for life insurance is because they discovered that's how the white man was packed.
I'm sorry, brother. Are you still there? All right. Well, I guess the brother got cut off. But, dear brother, I wanted to ask you a question. I don't know if you can hear me or not. But if you do come back, I wanted to ask the question. If I heard you correctly, you said that you had two daughters, one brown skin, one dark skin, and they were treated differently. If that's what you said there, brother, would you explain how is it that you treat them differently? Was it something conscious or something unconscious? So, brother, if you hear me and you're able to come back, please answer that question. But we thank you, brother, for that information. You were very informative, full of energy and information. You are welcome to TRS anytime, dear brother. This is Black Jesus Minister with my brother Tyrone Thompson, the CEO of Talk Real Solutions, and our special guest, Rashida Strober, the dark-skinned activist. Is there anyone else on the line? I have opened every line of someone who has not spoken yet. Yes, ma'am. Have you not spoken yet? Yes.
Yes, I haven't spoken yet.
Go right ahead.
Okay, hi everyone. Hi Rashida.
Hello.
I love you.
Hello.
This is Lauren, just in case you were wondering.
Where you calling from, sister?
I'm calling from New Jersey.
All right, go right ahead.
Okay, so, hey, so I wanted to talk about something that I don't feel like we talk about enough, which is how colorism in our dating choices reveals, like, not just self-hatred, but even going farther than that, but like a desire for self-erasure and like erasure of Black people as a whole. And I know it gets into like this topic of like who's like the most authentic kind of Black. I know like Cola Boo talked about that a lot. But like I feel that some people get into interracial relationships with the idea that they already want like mixed children.
Right.
And like I don't know, I find it like really disgusting. I find it really scary. And it gives me like anxiety a little bit because like I'm 25 and I see like a lot of my friends are just like, but if you say Black man or if you talk about this issue and they're like around the same age as me, it's like they want to spit. Like it's infuriating. And I feel like, is this like some kind of outside ploy to like completely erase us as a group, as a people? And are we totally playing into it if we say Black men hate Black women and we should just like, totally leave them alone? But then I start thinking about like, okay, is the answer then separatism? Because in white media, they're always going to be like validating whiteness. We'll never get like true validation from white media. And they won't ever allow us to carve out a substantial niche or like our own nook. And even if they do, it won't be enough because there's so much history in it. So like, is the answer then like complete separation? Like, was the beginning of the Nation of Islam correct in that we should totally separate and have like our own nation with boundaries and borders within the United States? I was just wondering, like, if we can move. I know everyone had like very similar experiences when it comes to dark skin discrimination, myself included. And I was just wondering if we could like move past that and talk about like what are like some, like if we don't fix the problem, like is it going, how much worse is it going to get? And like if we go in the other direction, like how far can we go? to fix this problem? Like, what does it look like to talk about like Black liberation, to talk about like dark skin liberation?
All right, Rashida.
Okay.
All right, Rashida, are you still online, dear sister?
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, if you want to respond to that, you go right ahead. If not, I got something to say on that.
Yeah, I'll just make my quick response and I'll let you take it up from there. But I think those are some excellent, poignant, thoughtful questions that the sister poses. And I just think that I think that she's a leader in this whole movement for dark skin liberation and can answer those questions by continuously being an advocate and an activist for those things. And I think that those are just questions that we have to continue to work with and grapple with. The answers may not be immediate. I think that we just have to keep on working. And as we work, we're going to continue to find the solutions and the answers to those questions. But I think it's awesome that the sister is thinking in these terms and is trying to figure out a solution to the problem. And I just want to thank her so much for listening.
Excellent, excellent. And dear sister, let me say this. This sickness, this Willie Lynch sickness, this black skin versus light skin, this colorism, this is the last vestige of slavery that we must destroy as a people. This vast legacy of slavery, of colorism, is what is the foundation, in my opinion, is the strongest foundation of our divisiveness, of our inferiority, and of our self-hatred. So the different colors, the different hues of black people, that's not going away. We had different hues even in Africa before slavery, okay?
Yeah.
But so basically we have been deceived and we have been tricked into this divisiveness to defy our unity. And the way that we're going to destroy this, it starts with us as individuals, okay, being real and stop lying and stop sweeping this up under the rug. I believe that black men are the number one perpetrators of colorism. All right, and black brothers and black men, those of you who are listening, you guys know what I'm talking about. We as black men in our intimate and men with men conversations, we need to stop tolerating the type of conversations that we engage in about worshiping and slobbering and having this nigger attitude and worship of light skin and white skin. It's superficial. It's a lie. Okay? It's superficial. It's a lie because I don't care if the sister is dark skin or light skin. A sister is more than just her skin color. And I'm not saying overlook dark skin, and I'm not saying overlook light skin. I'm talking about the reality is that we are all more than our skin color, and at the same time, all of us as dark skin and light skin men and women, as black people, we must come to the understanding we are blinded by self-hatred and white supremacy, and we need to start wiping our eyes, and we need to start using our brain. We need to understand that dark skin is the epitome of humanity, and that dark skin is where all of the races of humanity and all of the hues of humanity come from. All of the human family comes from Africa, okay? And so even science and genetics says that black is dominant, not light skin, not brown skin, not yellow skin. Black is dominant and white is recessive. So we must get our mind straight about what black is, and that black is the very essence of humanity and original humanity. So we need to have a serious love and understanding and agreement that black is what we are, regardless if our skin is not as black as we would want it to be. but all of us are black more than just our skin. It is our spirit, and it is our DNA, and it is our mentality that makes us black. And, you know, I have met light-skinned brothers and sisters who love their blackness and are proud of their blackness more so than dark-skinned brothers and sisters, okay? So we are more than our skin. We've got to stop lying to one another and act like this doesn't exist. And black men, you have got to retrain yourselves as men, because we're not children anymore. We must retrain ourselves in our conversations about this inordinate love. Now, I'm not saying a sister can't have a preference, but I believe that our preferences are strongly tainted with the willingness, inferiority, self-hatred mentality in our conscious and in our subconscious. Okay? Yeah. And so until we deal with that as adults and realize that when we say good hair, light skin, and I prefer only date light skin or dark skin or whatever, you know, if your mind is really healthy, you may have a preference, but you're not going to have a bias. Let me say that again. You may have, this is how you know that you're healthy and that your mind is right. You may have a preference, and if your preference is healthy, you won't have a bias, meaning I only date light-skinned women, or I only date dark-skinned this or that. You say I have a preference for dark skin, but hey, I'll date any sister, or if you're the other sex, I'll date any brother, because a person's blackness is more than just their skin color. And we must start in the family unit, mothers, fathers, and children. We got to stop letting these willy-nilly phrases come out of our mouth about good hair. There's no such thing as good hair. Black nappy hair is the best hair. And let me give you an example of that, because good hair, the real definition of good hair is hair that stays in your head. Bad hair is hair that falls out. Okay? And so the drier your hair is, okay, the less problem you have with parasites and microbial growth in your hair, because it has more fluid on it. Okay? So any extreme in hair is always going to be an issue for humanity. So white folks, they don't want their hair to be super duper stringy, so they try to reduce the moisture in their hair. And we don't like our hair super duper dry, so we try to put a little moisture in our hair. So it's all relative. Let's just get rid of the sickness and deal with reality and fall in love with each other and understand that being black is not just nappy, because when you look at Africa, Africans have all kinds of textural hair. And they're not mixed with anything. And I hear our people sitting up here talking about, oh, are you mixed just because they got so-called good hair? You silly. Have you ever seen an Ethiopian or Sudanese, even some Kenyans? They have straight hair. You look at the people in the Australians.
Fulani.
Ma'am?
Yeah. I just.
Yeah, okay, you can actually come.
Yeah, I didn't let them try.
Yeah, and the Aborigines in Australia, they're black people, broad nose, and their hair is almost as straight as white folks' hair, and they're not mixed with white people. So we got to understand, as African people, we are the mothers and fathers of humanity. We got all kinds of hair, we have all kinds of skin colors, but we are united as black people, and we must think that way, and we must stop perpetuating this stuff to our children, telling our children, you better not bring nobody home dark skin, or whether you better not bring nobody home light skin. All of this sickness, we got to get rid of it. And it starts at home, and it starts with us right now. As those of you who are listening, all of you and everyone, that we've got to stop letting these phrases come out of our mouth and training our children to think the way that they're thinking. We're the ones who's perpetuating this, and we got to stop. And I apologize for being long-winded, but this sister, but thank you for sharing. And to anyone else who hasn't spoken, all lines are open. Is there someone who hasn't spoken yet? All right. right. Well, we're gonna open up the line to anybody else. Anybody wants to speak at this time.
I just want to say, Black Jesus Minister, that's the best sermon I've ever heard you preach. Thank you.
Well, brother, appreciate you, brother. And
Hey, Black
thank you
Jesus.
for calling in.
Yes, brother. Yeah, I just wanted to say, I wanted to reiterate the fact that I'm the one that said to Muhammad Ali. Now, I heard the brother on here, which is fine. He gave his opinion. But to call that brother a house nigga, that whatever he want to call Muhammad Ali, that was totally foolish and was totally uncalled for. Like, here's the man that put his integrity on the line, not for himself. He took a stand. He took a stand. He said, I am not going to go fight someone of war that I have nothing to do with. He took one of the best stands you can take. As far as his black is concerned, his black was can't be measured. He was totally a totally black man. Totally. He was straight up calling you what you was. He had no problem in that. He was a man with great integrity. Like, he was a proud black man. The matter of fact, he was so proud to be black. He was so proud. So I'm not understanding what the problem is and calling that brother a house nigga or whatever, or he was handpicked by white folks. The reason why white folks like him now because he can't talk. If he can talk today with the shit that's going on today, if he can talk and express himself, oh man, they wouldn't like him then. Today. You see? So I'm not understanding what the problem is, and I do want to say that sister raised a good question about the dating thing, and I want to say this too. Dark-skinned women have to let brothers date them and be attracted to them. I've called a lot of sisters who are dark-skinned. I have a lot of dark-skinned women in my family, period. And I've always been attracted. It's not just a thing to me. It's not a fad for me to be attracted to dark-skinned women. That's not a fad. Okay, so they have to be inviting. You understand, when brothers approach you, that he's genuine with you. You see, so and that has to be played out too as well, because see, I'm not going to approach no sister whether be dark or light and see in fact will have an attitude with me and look at me all funny. I just pulled the fun, you know. So I think that they have to be inviting too as well, you know. And I think that that's to that point, and that's what I have to say, brother.
You know, Black Jesus Minister, I have women.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Rashida, are you still on the line, dear sister? Rashida Strober, are you still on the line?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. Well, listen, sister, I know you got to go. I'm going to ask if anyone has any more questions of you. And if they don't, then you're free to go, dear sister. If you got to go, if you're going to stick around, we'll be glad to have you. But if there's anyone who has any further questions or comments to Rashida Strober, the dark-skinned activist, our special guest on tonight.
Okay.
Hello, Rashida. I have one question, Rashida.
Okay, the brother and the sister. Hold on. Go ahead, brother.
All right, Rashida. I'm asking out of honesty. In your campaign, everything has to have a conclusion. From this conclusion, your awareness of the divisiveness of the dark skin is apparent, and there are a lot of people that can identify with the separation because there is some division. From here, where do you go for? I understand. I love to play the characters, all of it. But there are some things that have still not been resolved in the conversation. I understand this is going to take place for a period of time, and time is the great healer of all wounds. Just tell me, what is your ultimate aspiration besides breeding black and bringing pride in those black offspring, raising them up to know that they should be proud? Tell me what you have to say, and I'll take my answer off the line.
Absolutely. And who am I speaking to? Just so I know.
This Tan Renrud. That's Nat Turner backwards. If you spell Nat Turner backwards, it's handwritten, if anybody want to see me on Facebook.
Oh, awesome, for sure, definitely. The whole goal and mission is to bring the black man and the dark-skinned woman back together, and to increase the numbers, balance out the numbers, should I say, of black men marrying dark-skinned women in a balanced set of numbers, because right now I don't feel like that the numbers is balanced. So that's really the goal right there. I would like to see black men marrying dark-skinned women in increased numbers. That's my goal.
Ah, okay.
Marriage.
Yeah, there is a separation. I talked about my UCLA students.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah,
Hold on. No, there was a sister who wanted to talk to Rashida. Hold on, brother. Wait till the sister speaks. Sister, are you on the line?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment. Carla, I wanted to talk about light-skinned women in particular in this situation. You have a lot of women, black women in general, I hear, that would prefer a dark-skinned man, which is fine. But what happens is when the dark-skinned men tend to prefer the lighter-skinned woman. So, and the light-skinned woman would be like, okay, that's fine, nothing wrong with preferring a light-skinned woman, right? So then they have kids. The chances of them having a child who has the complexion of her dark-skinned father are pretty high, right? So then you're going to have a child who's dark-skinned, who's probably going to be a little girl, and she's going to grow up in the same environment that preferred her mom's complexion. So I feel like a lot of women who are light-skinned should not be so okay with these preferences of light skin, because you're allowing your daughter to grow up in a world that does not prefer her.
Well, but that's not the daughter's problem. That's society problem. But as a parent, we still have to keep on.
As a mother,
right,
she should be very cognizant as to who she chooses to procreate with, because if you have a man in the house who I call them anti-black, right? If he's anti-dark skin, he's the anti-black, and you're not gonna have a high self-esteem. He's not gonna promote your beauty as a dark-skinned woman. He may even, God forbid, they have another child, and she might be light-skinned. He's going to treat that light-skinned daughter better, which is what we were just talking about, right? So,
right.
You as a light-skinned woman, which means you're a black woman, right? You should be very cognizant of the men you choose. Do not choose a man who prefers you because you're light-skinned, because all he's saying is, I like you because you don't have all that black in you, which means you hate a part of me, don't you?
Yeah. Well, see, my neighbors are the same. My neighbors, the woman is light skinned, high yellow, and husband is dark skinned. Their children are light skinned and they're brown skinned. Well, the only thing I'm saying as a parent, just in general, as a parent, regardless of what your children come out as looking, because they may carry some traits from generations back. They may come out with hazel eyes, light skinned, and both parents are dark skinned. It could happen like that. At the end of the day, love your children. This skin tone is just preference at the end of the day. I mean, you have some people I've heard on this line says Obama is not black. Now, how did that happen? I don't understand. But regardless of the child, if you have a child, no matter what the skin color is, you have to do not raise them on these contradictions of this world. There's so many contradictions. There's so many programs that people's minds are on that are messing up the world, and they're not right. So don't have. And I agree with you. Don't bring your child in that society. And I'm just saying, a real true father and mother is going to love that child regardless of how the skin color looks when they come out the womb, regardless. And they're going to fight, right?
Remember what Lil Wayne said? He said that bitch was better red, right? And he have a dark-skinned daughter.
That's true. Now, hold on one second, everybody. Now, Rashida, I'm going to ask for anyone else who has any comments directly to Rashida, because her time is limited. And if you do, go ahead and ask your question or your comment to Rashida. And if you guys don't have any more comments for her, then we'll let her go. If she needs to go, she can hang if she wants to hang. But I want to give her that opportunity to answer any last questions if she does have to go. Rashida, are you still there again, dear sister?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I got a comment.
Is there anyone who has any comment or question to Rashida at this time?
I got one. A War.
Okay, go right ahead, War.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm down in Atlanta. I'm gonna come check out your play, and I think you got a beautiful spirit, sister. You know, the Lord is anointing you to do that. Yeah, you do. I feel your spirit. And I just want to say this. With me, when I look at problems of our people, I always look at, I know there's an origin where it come from. And I remember when I was a kid, they had an episode on Good Times, okay, where they had the white Jesus and the black Jesus. And you'll find out a lot of our people, they choose the light skin because it's closer to that graven image of that white Jesus. Right. A lot of people, I'm telling you, okay, the closer you look to that white Jesus, people believe the better looking you are. And they compare it, they want their kids to look like that image. That image have a great impact on our people. And people don't want to face that. You know? That's why they made sure your grandmothers and Nana, all of them, your mother, they made sure when you woke up when you was a kid, that image was right there on the wall. And it destroyed a lot of us. Okay, that's why a lot of our kids can take another brother's life because their life don't have value because of that graven image. But that's all I wanted to say. And I'm going to try to make that our place. It was good hearing from you.
Oh, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. That's a War, the swordsman, my Hebrew brother in Christ. Anybody have a question or comment directed to Rashida Stroke?
Yes, I do. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Go right ahead.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I was trying to ask Ms. Rashida if at the end of the play, is she going to have an opportunity as a platform for people to discuss these issues so that we can begin to, to see what we can do as a community as she travel around to be able to give people a chance to begin to think and, and bring it more to life.
Oh, absolutely. It's the people's show and it's the people's platform. So as such, I'm definitely going to have, at the end of the performance, there's going to be a discussion period. So absolutely. I love the people. Without the people, there's nothing. No work to be done. So absolutely. Of course. And who is this that's speaking right now? Who is this? What's her name?
I'm sorry. This is.
You have her contact information, and make sure you're following her as the events evolve and as she creates certain events. And brother, we hope that you not only ask questions, but that you be there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes, I'll be there. This is Dedrick from St. Pete.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everybody's support. I love all of y'all. I just want y'all to know that and understand that real clearly.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you, brother. Is there anybody else who has a comment on Rashida Strover, the dark-skinned activist?